Talk about being able to host this for the third straight year and just what this event means to you.
Yeah, it's a special night. I think the older I get and the more I appreciate a night like this and what that honor really stands for and what it's all about. So it means a lot, I think, to honor these kids. And, my kids are now getting older, so for my sons and daughters to look for role models, I think those are great examples of what college athletes are all about. Not only what they overcome in their life to get where they are, but, really just thriving on and off the field, and that's what it's all about. It's not just about overcoming, it's about what they stand for, who they are on the team as leaders, but also in their community. So I'm honored to have my name on it, and special night for sure.
How difficult is it to whittle the list down and to actually pick one guy?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I don't have to do that. I think every year it seems like you go through it, and it's like it gets harder and harder. I think these kids and the sports information departments at these universities have so many deserving candidates of student athletes that stand for all the things you want in this world, and so the board kind of dwindles it down and we get to 3, and so many more are deserving, but tonight's really about honoring all 3 of them. There's not just one winner, and it was great to visit with them, catch up with them. All of them are different phases of their lives, with Trey coming back for another year and Isaiah and finishing up at the Air Force Academy, and Michael having an opportunity to go to the NFL. So I remember those days, and I remember those opportunities and how eager you are, and to do it with high character and integrity, I just commend them for that work.
You obviously have some big decisions to make in your own life.
I think just obviously with so many changes happening inside the building, just working through that. I met with Mike early on after he got the job. We had a really good visit, and since then he was putting together his staff, and so I've been in constant communication with Stephen and Jerry along the way, and so I think it's my hope, I think our hope to kind of have those talks here soon after the combine ends, before free agency. So I want to play. I think I want to explore that. I think it's the right fit in the role. I feel like I still have something to give. I've been on the other side of that when you made the decision to retire, and I just think, coaching's in the future, but right now I want to play while I can. So we'll see where that takes place, and of course I want that to be with Dallas Cowboys, and will always be a Dallas Cowboy, but also understand that might mean that with all the changes, I have to go somewhere else.
So you're open to playing with another team if it doesn't?
Well, I think I have to be. Obviously that's not ideal. I would love to finish it out here, but some of those things are not in your control. And not that they're not. We haven't had a lot of those discussions. Mike and I met briefly. Really good talk. I don't know him really well. He obviously doesn't know me very well, but I have a lot of admiration for what he's done in his career, and he kind of expressed the same thing. So it's a good football team. A lot of guys that I got a lot of sweat and time together, and nothing I would love to do than play with those guys. And it's a good young group of tight ends, and I think I can help them in a lot of ways. So I think we'll just have to wait and see it, but sooner rather than later in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Were you leaning toward coaching once the season ended before the circumstances changed, or were you still really?
No, I just think, I think like anything, you listen, and I was still adamant that I wanted to play football, and in those conversations that I had, not only with Stephen and Jerry, but with Mike. Mike went through it with Brett there at the end of his career, and first thing out of his mouth was, if you want to play, go play, and that's something that I felt strongly about. Obviously, leaving ESPN and Monday Night Football, I had that feeling. I still do. I still feel like I have a lot to give to a football team. I know where I'm at in my career, a chance to win and help, and I think the most important thing is finding the right fit. So just took a little time to think about it and know what it takes to put your body through, and when you make a decision like that. But once I made the decision to go play, really all my thoughts have been about that, and really discussions too.
Is it strange to be in this spot where you're a free agent in a month or so, to where you could be wearing a different helmet?
Yeah, it is strange. I'm forever blessed to have played 16 years for one team, never hit free agency. I know what that commitment's been with the Jones family, and I hope they would probably say the same thing. I've tried to give everything I could, both on and off the field. But I also understand the business of this game, and so no hard feelings on that end. I just think having those conversations, I hope that it's here, just because there's nothing I want more to bring a championship here. And I think this team's close. I think it's a good roster, and came up short last year, but I think it really has the makeup to do some special things across the board. When unemotionally I look and evaluate this roster, I think it's very strong. I've seen it. I've had a close view of this team for a long time, so I think it has the right makeup of what it looks like to win, and hopefully get to know Mike. But I also know that I'm not naive enough to think that probably couldn't be somewhere else. So just we'll talk that through as the time comes.
Do you
Have
find
you talked
yourself
to Emmett or
examining
some others that have been in that situation?
I haven't. It'd probably be a good idea to visit with him. And I really didn't want to go down that road until that time came. In fairness to the Cowboys, we just haven't had those discussions. Jerry and Steve and I have been. We talked a lot over the last few weeks. Had some visits, so I'm confident that one way or another that'll get resolved. So I think the biggest thing was just allow them to watch some tape and go through it. And I wanted to get away from it on my end to make sure this is what I want to do, and now I'm fully committed to that. So the next steps will take its course here once they get through the combine.
Is that what the process is now? Mike and the coaches to watch the tape, kind of see what the rest of them want to do?
I'm assuming that's probably it. I haven't talked to him with that. Like I said, we visited right after the season, right after he got hired, and just told him I wanted some time to think about playing and seeing if that's what I wanted to do. And once I made that decision, I communicated that. And so there's a lot been transpiring. He's putting together a staff and a lot of other things that were taking place. So now that I've made that, I'm sure we'll visit in upcoming weeks.
You talked how you know.
Guys, it's the last one.
In the last few weeks, have they given you any indication, one way or another?
Yeah, they've been constant communication. I think when you play somewhere for 16 years, a lot of respect that I have for them and loyalty to that, and vice versa. So, I got to see them down at the Super Bowl for a little bit. Good visits, special time for their family, and I'll always be a Dallas Cowboys. But we didn't get into the weeds of my role and what that looks like. So I suspect that'll happen here in the next few weeks.
You talked how you know this roster. Have you found yourself examining other rosters of where you might go yet?
Not yet, but I think anytime when you explore that option, you want to find somewhere that the right fit, somewhere you have a chance to win, and somewhere you can help contribute, and as a tight end, first and foremost, but then as a leader and the right coaching staff. So, I'm proud of the way I played. I think they'll have good opportunities, and I haven't allowed my mind to go there yet just because, hopefully that, like anybody, I would want to finish it off here and the star on my helmet. But know that may be an opportunity for me.
All right, we got to go. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, man.